You think rage is your weapon, don't you? You believe that screaming until your throat burns, shattering glass, and unleashing your fury will make them tremble for what they've done. But let me unveil a truth that cuts deeper than any outburst. Anger is cheap. It's the first spark anyone can ignite, the predictable storm they want you to unleash. The moment you snap, they lean back, smug, and whisper, "See? I told you they're unhinged." They'll weave you as the villain in their tale, sleep soundly, and claim victory. But silence, oh, silence is a blade they never see coming. It's not just the absence of words, it's the absence of their power. When you refuse to react, you starve them of the validation they hunger for. And starvation? That's the slowest, most excruciating death of all. Picture it. Every insult they hurl, every trap they set, it's bait, glistening with malice. They're begging you to bite. But when you stand there unmoved, your gaze piercing through their soul like a winter wind, they falter. Their confidence fractures. Their carefully crafted mask slips. Suddenly, they're the ones questioning, unraveling, lost in the void of your silence. That silence becomes the loudest force in the room, a presence that lingers long after you've left. It haunts them, gnawing at their certainty, far more than your screams ever could. Don't misunderstand me. Pain is no weakness. Pain is a forge, relentless and fierce, tempering the soft edges of your heart into unyielding steel. But here's the secret. You don't let them witness it. You don't grant them the satisfaction of knowing they wounded you. Instead, you take that pain and shape it into something untouchable, something radiant. Do you know why diamonds are revered? Not for their fire, but for the silent, crushing pressure they endure over eons. That unrelenting weight transforms them into something unbreakable, something eternal. Be the diamond. Let the world's weight press down on you, but never let it crack you. When they look at you, let them see something invincible, something they can never hope to shatter. And walking away, don't mistake it for surrender. They'll sneer, call you a coward, claim you're fleeing. But walking away is the ultimate act of dominion. It declares, "You're not worth my time." It's the difference between wrestling in their filth and rising above their chaos. When you leave them shouting into the void, you've already won. They'll despise it, the way you refuse to sink to their level. That's the elegance of silence. It doesn't just shield you, it dismantles them. They'll replay every word, every moment, desperate to pinpoint where they lost their grip on you. And you'll be miles ahead, untouchable, a shadow they can't catch. Regret is a slow poison, seeping into the soul, corroding it piece by piece. And the cruelest regret isn't losing someone. It's the dawning realization that they're better off without you. That's the wound you'll leave them with, not through vengeance or fury, but through the quiet, unshakable truth of your absence. The ultimate revenge isn't being remembered, it's being forgotten. When you erase their significance, you strip them of the role they craved. Hero, villain, anything. By going silent, by moving forward without a backward glance, you reduce them to a fleeting whisper in a story that's still unfolding. That's a scar time can't mend. Let's ground this in logic. Biologically, humans are wired for connection. We thirst for attention, validation, a nod of acknowledgement. Silence shatters that instinct. It creates a void, and nature despises a vacuum. They'll scramble to fill it, but they'll fumble, lost in the emptiness you've crafted. Psychologically, your silence is a mirror, forcing them to confront their own fears, insecurities, and failures. Most can't bear the reflection. They'll unravel under its weight. Sociologically, society thrives on noise, gossip, arguments, endless chatter. But silence, it's rare, magnetic, commanding. In a world obsessed with being heard, silence is rebellion, a defiant claim to power. Now let's talk about pain, not the kind they inflicted. That's a faded echo. I mean the pain you'll wield, not with chaos or violence, but with the searing clarity of their own missteps. Every moment you withhold a response, every time you turn and walk away, you're investing in their downfall. That investment yields a devastating return. They'll feel it in the hollow of empty rooms, in the restless hours of sleepless nights, in the awkward pauses that choke their conversations. Silence doesn't just sting, it lingers, a specter they can't escape. One day they'll speak of you. They'll call you strong, enigmatic, untouchable. They'll marvel at how you stood unflinching while the world clawed at you. But the truth runs deeper. You didn't just survive, you thrived. Silence isn't merely a weapon, it's a legacy. Long after you're gone, they'll weave tales of you, not of the loud or the vengeful, but of the one who faced the storm without a word, whose silence roared louder than any scream. So what will you choose? Will you squander your strength on those who don't deserve it, or will you let your silence speak? Because trust me, your silence will shatter them in ways anger never could. It will haunt them, reshape them, and set you free. You don't need their approval, their validation, only the resolve to stay quiet, to rise above. And when you do, they'll never forget you, even as you leave them behind. Strength doesn't shout, it doesn't need to. True strength is the calm at the heart of the tempest, the bedrock that holds when all else crumbles. The loudest voices, screaming, tantruming, are the weakest, betraying their desperation to matter. Silence, though, is strategic, unnerving. Every time you hold your tongue, you sow seeds of doubt in their minds. You make them question their control, their power, their very existence. That's when you've won. People love their games, mind games, power plays, emotional traps. They'll prod your weaknesses, push your buttons, just to see how far you'll bend. Most fall for it, reacting, playing their part. But not you, not anymore. When you refuse their game, you don't just walk away, you topple the board. You prove their tricks are powerless. Nothing infuriates a manipulator more than losing their grip. They'll escalate, grow louder, nastier, but with every desperate move, they expose their frailty. And you keep walking, silent, unbothered, invincible. Your silence is a mirror, not of glass, but of truth. It forces them to face the flaws, fears, and failures they've buried. When they lash out, it's not about you. It's their own pains spilling over, their insecurities clawing for air. By standing silent, unshaken, you hold that mirror steady, making them confront what they've fled their whole lives. Most would rather burn the world than face themselves. But you make them see. Imagine a fortress, towering and impenetrable. Its walls forged from silence. They can scream, hurl their fury, exhaust their arsenals. But those walls won't even tremble. While they waste themselves in the assault, you grow stronger within, conserving your energy, building your empire. When the dust settles, they'll stand in the wreckage of their own chaos while you remain, untouched, victorious. Silence isn't easy. It demands discipline, strength, a willingness to face your own demons in the quiet. It's lonely, isolating, a path that tests your resolve. But that's its power. In silence, you confront yourself, forge yourself anew. Most drown in noise to escape that reckoning. Not you. You emerge sharper, stronger, unbreakable. You're not like them. You're stronger, forged in a fire they'll never comprehend. That strength will carry you to heights they can only glimpse in their dreams. Have you ever watched arrogance collapse under its own weight? It's a spectacle, a quiet symphony of hubris undone. The louder they roar, the more brittle their pride, built on the fragile scaffolding of ego. Your silence is the hammer, striking with every moment you refuse to engage. Every time you rise above their petty games, you chip away at their foundation until it crumbles, not by your words or deeds, but by the crushing weight of their own vanity. And you'll be long gone, too far ahead to hear the echo of their fall. Success doesn't whisper, it thunders, drowning out their insults, their arguments, their noise. When you thrive, unbroken by their attempts to shatter you, you wield the ultimate revenge. But success isn't a spark that ignites overnight. It demands time, grit, and above all, silence. While they waste their breath on chaos, you're focused, building, rising. When you stand at the peak, they'll crane their necks, awestruck, realizing you're untouchable. Not now, not ever. One day you'll look back on the pain, the struggles, the hands that tried to drag you down, and you'll see the truth. They didn't break you. they sculpted you. Every insult, every setback, every shadow of doubt forged you into something unstoppable, a force that commands the world's respect. Your silence isn't just a response, it's a legacy, a testament to resilience, to rising above. When your story is told, they won't linger on those who wounded you. They'll speak of how you overcame, how you stood resolute when the world sought to crush you, how your silence roared louder than any storm. What's it going to be? Will you let their chaos ensnare you, or will you transcend it? Will you let their words define you, or will your silence redefine them? At the end of the day, your silence will break them in ways anger never could. You'll walk away stronger, wiser, untouchable. The choice is yours, but know this: the loudest screams are the ones no one hears. Silence isn't merely a shield, it's a revolution. It's your declaration that their rules no longer bind you. Revolutions don't need banners or speeches, they need resolve, quiet, calculated action. When you choose silence, you starve their fire, letting it consume itself. From the ashes of their chaos, you build something unbreakable, something eternal. Silence doesn't just protect you, it transforms you. It's not about ignoring them, it's about outgrowing them. Like a tree that splits the pavement, your silence is growth, shattering their expectations, their judgments, their limits. Once you've risen beyond them, there's no turning back. Words are weapons, carelessly flung. Insults, lies, accusations, they carry weight. And if you're not vigilant, that weight can crush you. Silence is your refusal to bear their burden. You're not their dumping ground, not their punching bag. You're a fortress, unyielding and eternal. When you stay silent, you strip their words of power, rendering their venom impotent. That drives them to madness, because they thrive on mattering, on feeling significant. Your silence is a stark reminder. They don't. Letting go sounds simple, but it's a crucible, a reckoning. It's not just moving on. It's accepting that some people, some battles aren't worth your energy. Not everyone deserves a place in your world, access to your heart, your mind, your soul. Letting go is reclaiming your space, declaring, I deserve more. It's not about forgetting or forgiving. It's about breaking the chains they forge. It's choosing peace over chaos, strength over weakness, growth over stagnation. That choice is power, pure and unassailable. Reacting, arguing, defending, it's a drain, a theft of your energy, your focus, your peace. For what? To win a fleeting argument? To prove a point they'll never grasp? The true victors don't waste their strength on petty skirmishes. They conserve it for the wars that matter. Every reaction hands them a piece of you, your time, your spirit. Silence is your shield, preserving your power. When the time comes to fight, you'll stand ready while they're exhausted from their futile battles, weakened by their own noise. Loneliness is the price of strength. Silence is lonely. Walking away is lonely. But in that solitude, you find yourself raw, unfiltered, unapologetic. Amid the noise, it's easy to lose your way, to forget what you stand for. But in silence, there's no hiding, no distractions, just you, stripped bare. That's where true growth begins. It's not easy, not gentle, but it's necessary. The strongest souls, the ones who reshape the world, are those who face themselves in the quiet, embrace the loneliness, and emerge transformed. Those who try to tear you down, they're terrified of you. They'll never admit it. They'll mock, belittle, manipulate. But deep down, they fear. This isn't about the past or the hands that tried to shatter you. It's about the future, the empire you're forging. Your silence is the bedrock of that empire, the unyielding foundation that fuels your rise, no matter what they hurl your way. When your empire stands tall, a monument to your strength, they'll gaze up, awestruck, only to realize they were never part of it. They'll scramble to claim credit, to claw their way back into your light, but it'll be too late. You've built something impervious, a legacy so radiant that their words, their schemes, their noise can never touch it. That's not just victory, it's transcendence. You have a choice. Keep fighting battles that mean nothing, draining your spirit on those who don't deserve it, or embrace silence. Choose strength. Choose to rise. Your silence isn't a fleeting response. It's a weapon, a legacy, a force so potent that one day they'll realize it was the loudest sound they ever heard. The world drowns in noise, endless chatter, arguments, screams, a cacophony of desperate souls trying to be heard in a void that doesn't care. It's all meaningless, a frantic attempt to fill their inner emptiness with chaos. But you're different. You don't need to add to the clamor. When you choose silence, you become rare, enigmatic, a presence that commands without speaking. They fear what they can't comprehend, and your silence makes you untouchable, unpredictable, uncontrollable, a mystery that unravels their fragile world. In their noisy chaos, your silence is a beacon of everything they'll never possess. Peace, strength, mastery. Here's a truth they'll never admit. Their treatment of you isn't about you. It's a mirror of their own failures, their insecurities, their fears. They project their darkness onto you because they can't face it themselves. When they lash out, it's not because of who you are, but because of who they'll never be. They see your strength, your resilience, your boundless potential, and it gnaws at them, a relentless ache. Reacting only fuels their game, granting them permission to keep you small. Silence, though, denies them that power. It forces them to stew in the weight of their actions, a burden heavier than they ever imagined. Observe a predator in the wild, a lion, a wolf, a hawk. They don't chase every fleeting distraction. They wait, watch, strike with precision. That's what makes them lethal. Be like them. Don't squander your energy on every taunt, every slight. Stay still, focused, deliberate. Stillness isn't weakness, it's strategy, a quiet dominion. In a world of frantic noise, stillness is power. It says, I don't need to prove myself. I'm beyond your games. Anger flares bright, consuming all in its path, but it fades fast. Silence endures. It lingers, haunts, forces introspection. Think of the ones who hurt you, not the loud, the dramatic, but those who walked away in silence, leaving you alone with your thoughts, your guilt, your regret. They're the ones who linger in your mind, unshakable. That's the power of silence. It doesn't end the moment. It becomes a shadow, a ghost that clings to them, a reminder of their wrongs that never fades. They fear you, not for what you've done, but for what you could do. Your potential is their terror, and your silence amplifies it. When you refuse to react, you become the unknown, a force they can't predict or control. Their minds spiral, conjuring worst-case scenarios, unraveling under the weight of their own imagination. The unknown is the sharpest blade, and your silence wields it with devastating precision. Pain is inevitable, a constant in this world, but it doesn't have to break you. It can forge you. Silence is how you transform pain into power. It's your defiance. Yes, I'm wounded. Yes, I'm angry, but you'll never see it. You'll never win. Consider steel, born in fire, hammered into form, tempered in quiet resolve. That's you, unbreakable, shaped by the flames of your trials, strengthened by the cold clarity of your silence. One day the world will look back on your life. They'll recall your words, your deeds, your impact, but above all, they'll remember how you made them feel. Your silence is woven into that legacy, a testament that you didn't let the world's noise drown you, that you rose above the chaos of others. It's a lesson for those who follow, a beacon for those seeking strength. Sometimes the most powerful act is to say nothing at all. So what's it going to be? Will you waste your energy on those who don't matter? Or will you let your silence speak? Will you let them define you? Or will you rise untouchable? Your silence will shatter them in ways anger never could, leaving you stronger, wiser, free. The choice is yours, but know this. Silence isn't weakness. It's power, it's strength, it's everything they fear. It's everything you are.